Another quick fix-it video here. This is my Hayter Sprint 41 lawnmower, and had it from new since 2011, and the other day the drive belt stopped pulling the motorised. This is an automatic drive, though it's got the wheel down here and the two mechanisms up there to control it, and it stopped self-driving itself. So I've taken it already to pieces and I've ordered a new part, but the failed area is this here, and this is the drive unit. This drives essentially a chain, and the failed part is this. So this is sheared off and broken. In fact, the nut that was intended to go through that, as you can see, sheared off, and this is the other nut that would go through it here. That would go through there, and this is the part. So you can see it completely sheared off, and now this mechanism was moving around. In fact, you can probably see the sort of wear and tear that was on this. So I have a brand new part, brand new bolts, slightly different from the original, but the right length by the looks of things. And what I'm now going to do is get into the actual machine, taking off the various bits of plastic to get access to it, and I'll show you how I do that. I haven't fully drained the petrol tank. That's probably the best thing to do, but what I will do is I will take out the filter, and what I will do is essentially stuff that area with a rag or a cloth, and stop the fuel and oil from getting into the engine and making too much of a mess. So, and of course the spark plug is disconnected. Not that the engine should start, but you should always take the spark plug off, which is a good case. But what I will do is I will right, well, the filter's now been blocked, and what I'll do now is flip the machine up, and you can see the underside of it. So here's the underside of the machine. You can see I've cleaned it up a little bit. Now there are various screws that need to be undone. You need essentially a Phillips screwdriver. You need to go and take them from here, under here, down under here, down here. You need to take all of these off. One at the front, two under here, and two under here. That will release this deck area, and this will become loose. This will release this deck area here, and this will become loose, and then you need to release this deck area here as well. And there are again two screws here that need to be taken out, one here at the top and here at the bottom, and here is where the drive mechanism is. So you can probably just about see inside here, that's where the drive mechanism should go through. If I sort of show you, that's where the drive mechanism should go through. That's the belt drive. There's the belt. There's the loose belt at the moment. You can see I have to take these covers off, and the same on the other side. So what you'll see me do now is basically have all of this removed off, and ready to show you the inside of it. So there is one tricky screw here, which is just hidden underneath. You can just about see it, as well as the ones up there. And there's also another tricky one in here somewhere as well that I need to get access to. So you'll see me get access to that one in a second when I go back to it. So this is the screw that I was trying to show you, which is the one sort of slightly trickily sort of hidden away. You can see that now I've got this part off. We're exposing essentially the drive system. This is obviously where the blade would fit, and the suspension. So I need to take this off as well as this cowling over here. Right, so the underneath the decking has now been removed. This plastic bit here, so this is the main tray. That there, the middle one, locks into that area down there. and then the other screw holes basically lock into the other front of the deck. So you can see those are the parts. That's the front part of it there. That concludes the train mechanism, and then this one goes on under here like that. So that's the sort of the plastic decking, if you like, in all its various parts. You can see the screw holes there, etc. And it all locks together quite nicely. And then you've got this bottom tray here which holds on the wheels. There's the wheels. So I'm going to take this bit off here. Maybe technically you don't need to do that. There's the drive belt. So you can see this is the drive mechanism coming off the main spindle from the engine itself. And this is the clutch that obviously engages the motor to actually drive the drive belt. So when you engage the drive belt, you're then obviously able to drive these wheels, which you can see move freely at the moment. I need to go to the other side and obviously deal with that. This is one of the bearings. So this is the bearing on the other side. This is the mount for that point. And then the area that failed was down here. It was this one. This was the screw, if you recall. And it was, as you can see, it was a real tough challenge to get out, but I managed to grip onto it with some mole grips and we're able to remove it. So now I'm going to go in and start taking off the various bits, and the next scene you'll see me sort of with various parts installed. Okay, bit fiddly, but got there in the end. This is the belt drive mechanism. I released it off here and just slung it over this way, so that freed up this one to spin round. I could then reattach it. There's the new part in place. All the various bolts are in. So the variety of bearings are also installed. So here are the installed, and then this is the chain drive which drives the system. So you can see that the chain drive is now working quite happily and is not being powered obviously by the motor. So now what I need to do is reattach the mechanism that actually engages and disengages that. So this is this part here. Hopefully that's going to be a quick thing to do. And then what I'll do is I'll zip it all back up again. Notice that this area here needs to have a bit of attention. It seems to have misaligned itself a little bit from the plastic clips at the bottom there. So I need to just sort that out. May do that a little bit later on, but next shot will be the lawnmower back in together. I have a new blade for it as well. So here's the new blade. It was the old blade. As you can see, it's pretty knacked. I've sharpened it a couple of times. Yeah, let's see it all zipped up and finished up. Right, so that spring is a real pain to get back on again once you've got all the mechanism in. So once you've got all the tensions on, yeah, it's pretty tricky to actually make sure that this is all working. So I had to cable tie that on to try and hold this into place. I think that's going to work quite nicely. All the plastic bits are in the right place. Seem to have lost these two screws when I took it to pieces, so I'm going to have to come up with an idea with two other screws. But I think looking at it, I can get away with probably some other plastic screws that I've got lying around. So what I need to do is build this back up again. So the first area that we put in is this, which is this tray here. So that goes in underneath, slots in like so, and just need to center it up. But yeah, then I need to get the part in under here. So I need to just move this trolley out of the way to give myself as much space as possible so that I can slot this one back in. So. Right, everything is back on. Plates are in. I use some brass screws in here. All the screws are on properly. All are connected. Remember, there's a screw here, screw back there, screw in here, screw in here, screw in here, screw in here, screw in the base. Don't forget to put these ones in as well. Select that one in. You can see the mechanism, and we're all good. So there's the chute where grass collection comes out from. Everything seems to be fitted in correctly. New blade is on. You can see how the pitch of the blade is. Make sure these fins are up at the top, and you can see the bow takes the blade, so it's just probably just clipping that area there. So now what I need to do, give it some fresh fuel and give it a spin. I need to put the cover on that one, but that's a quick part of it and we should be done. Well, a little later than expected. I had to go and get a new spark plug because the spark plug broke. Wasn't that helpful? So I was just cleaning the spark plug out, and when I took it out, this broke. So new spark plug, and let's see how this thing works. So very happy. It has now been fixed. I now have a drive again, and it's all good. Thanks YouTube. Take care. Remember, like, subscribe, ask any questions. Stay safe.